Hi everyone, this is Jordan from Milk. Today I'm going to go try to make a quick tutorial on how to make basic clothing for the Babyz game. Now everything I'm referencing will be listed below under the video, all the links, so hopefully that will all be there and that can help you out. Alright, so to start, I think we're going to have to figure out what we're going to make. So I have a folder I made myself of pretty much all the basic clothing bases, which are available, it can be recolored, and it has all the credits listed in a notepad file, along with the pictures of what they all look like so I can remember easily and figure out what I want to make. But I want to make something basic, so we're just going to make a quick tube top to start for your baby to wear and probably a matching skirt. So to do that, I made a Babyz game. This is just a copy of it. It's not the one I usually use, so there's nothing in it besides the baby I have to try on my clothes, Persephone, and her BMPs. Other than that, all the clothing here is just the game clothes that come with your game already. So to start, we should find what we want to use to make our tube top, which can be any shirt in here really. But I think probably the blue sweater would be a nice option. So just copy that here and then name it what you want it to be. So I guess tube top just to start, because I don't know what else to name it right now. But okay, yeah. Now you need Lines Pro, which there will be a link for below if you don't already have it. Most people I think do, but if you don't, it'll be there. So drag that into here. And to make it show up on its own, you need to change the RC data in here. So it's breed ID, this is what you'll need to change, is listed as that, which every item in the game has its own ID, which allows it to be separate. So let's just change this to 32,000, because on the Babyz form there's a list of who has what. I claimed the numbers 32,000 to 35,000. Although you can pretty much pick anything just to test it out right now, but this is so they don't override with other people's creations if you have them in your game. Okay, so this is at 32,000, so this should make it show up. Since it'll still show up as the blue sweater for now, the only thing that the tube top will cover is the baby's stomach. And the baby's stomach ball is number 4. So it's the only one you'll need. This all deals with the chest, the shoulders, and this is the sleeves. So these you won't even need. So for now, just cut those out and then click save and it should show up. So you're going to open your game to test to make sure it shows up first before we get too detailed on it. Okay, let's see. My game's a little slow. I have to run it on compatibility mode. Alright, so your game's loading. Hi, Persephone. Alright. If you get back into the clothing, see, now it's going to be the first one in the list. Before it wasn't. That refreshes it. So you put it on, and see, she has a cute little tube top, which shows up as its own. Although it still looks like this here, but we'll change that later in Tinker. But okay, so it's a pretty blue, but I think I'm going to change that to something else. So, okay. This is where it's linked. See, here it has texture. This is the stomach ball, and this is the texture which is linked to, which is 0. The first one in the list is 0, and then it goes to 1. So if you wanted to link it to this one instead, you'd change the texture to 1. But for now, since it's linked to this is the one we're going to have to change. I made a little BMP here, which I got from, I just went to Google Images and typed in girly stripes, and I like this image here, and then I put it into Paint Shop Pro, and I flipped it and shrunk it a little bit, so that was cute. But you have to make sure it's in 256 colors, because otherwise it won't show up. So the way I usually do that is I open up Paint, which I have a really old version of Paint, but I like it better, so I always keep that around. And I go into the Baby Pics folder, and I just drag one in there, because these are automatically, if they're BMPs, some people save them as PNGs, but I always save them as BMPs. But if you do this, and you just drag it in, then this is already going to be in 256 colors, so you do this, and then you'll want to go to babyz.org, where you can go under tutorials. They have their own clothing tutorial, but I know some people learn better in different ways. So here, how to make non-rotating clothes. Let's see. That will load. My internet's also being slow. But you see this? This is the template you can use. This little white box. If you make sure to put your image in this box, this is what's going to show up on the baby's stomach if it has a non-rotating stomach, which is in the baby, not in the clothing, so it has nothing to do with that. So just paste that in there, and you want that to be the right size. So you're going to do that. And go back to here, and this is the image I use, which is bigger than that box, but it doesn't really matter. So just do this. Should work. I haven't actually tested this before I did it, but it should work. And I'm just going to color that like that. Now you want to save this as, and people generally put this in their clothes folder, but you can put it wherever you want. So I'm just going to name this stripes for simplicity. Alright, so now you have the BMP there, which you can save it anywhere, it doesn't really matter, but right now this is linked to Art Auto Build, which is the texture group that's in the game already. You can't, okay. Since this is in you saved your picture to your resource clothes folder, that's where you're going to have to link it to recognize the BMP. So you're going to have to change this to resource clothes, and then since you named your BMP stripes, or I did, there, now stripes. That should make it show up as the BMP we just made. See, there, now it's all pretty and striped, which is what I wanted. Okay, so that was pretty simple, but it's still showing up as the sweater right here. And that comes, like I said, in Tinker, which I will do in just a moment. Something I like to do first is I like to change the text, because when you pick it up it says blue sweater on that bottom bar on the Babyz game where it gives more info, so I usually just like write my initials and then striped tube top. Just so then that, I don't know, I like doing that. That's not necessary in the slightest. Okay, so now you need Tinker, which I will link to. You have to open, you can't drag things in, or at least mine can't because it's stupid. I need to find the right folder, which is in my stuff, Babyz 1. So you just have to go into your clothes folder where your game is located and find your item, which I called tube top. You're going to open it up in Tinker. Now there's going to be this one and this one. The one you want is away because this is what shows up in the closet. This is what happens when you pick up the item and it lays on the floor, which you can change, but most people are too lazy to do it, including me, so I just always change this. This is the main important one anyways. So it looks like this. You have to make sure your palette right here under toys palette is under babies, because if it's in pets it's going to look like that, and that's what it's going to save as, and you don't want that because that's not going to look good. So make sure it's under babies. When you first open it up it usually defaults to pets, so just make sure to change that. I already had it open though. So you have to make your image now for what you want this to look like. So since we want it to look like a tube top, this is not going to work. You can edit it really to look like whatever you want, but there are already some basic ones you can choose from on babyz.org, which is conveniently there. Tinker templates. Let's see, they have them for many different items. Tube top is there, which you can use. I already have some on my computer that I already saved, so this is here. So I just opened that up. It's already saved as 256 colors. Usually I just take this, copy, and since that's just a blank color, I just do that. So that's what that looks like. Copy this back over here. Oh, that looks good. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to save this as striped tube, which I'm going to actually save. Here's your Babyz game. I'm going to make a new folder in the close folder called Tinker. So that way it's in one convenient location. Mine's in a different area, but it really would be easier if I just moved it to here. So you're going to save that there. And now that you're in Tinker, all you have to do is click Import. Your folder's right here, and you click this. That's all you have to do, and then you save. Open up your game. There you go, it shows up right in the closet. See, when you pick it up, it's the sweater like that, but most people don't change that. That's the other section that I was showing you in Tinker, which you can edit, but it's more complicated just to change it, and it's kind of tedious when you don't really need it. Alright, so this isn't really a clothing set, it's just the one shirt. So I'm going to make a quick skirt to go with it, so then we have that, so it's actually like an outfit. So you're going to close your game. You're going to open up your clothing folder, and since, let me see, here's my giant folder of bases. Tutu is what I call the main skirt that most people use. It was created by Sharon, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, Sharon, which is the main skirt that people use. So I'm just going to take a copy of this and put it into the folder. I'll just keep it called Tutu for now. And then you're going to close out of this because you don't need your tube top open anymore because that already shows up fine. So you're going to drag in your Tutu. And don't forget to change the RC data because this needs to change. So since the other one was 32,000 start, this is going to be 32,001. This will just be the next one up. So let me see. Here we go. What color? The color I think I'm going to choose for this, I will use some of the BMPs that are already available on Babyz.org. And are cotton BMPs, because I like a lot of theirs, although I don't use them as much as I should. This color I think would look nice. So you're just going to save that off. And save it to the folder. Stuff. Okay. So it's Berry LK. LK made these BMPs. She has a lot of very nice ones. So you're going to save that in there. And now you need to change the location again. And then it was called Berry LK. Okay, so save that. I'm going to change the room again to refresh everything. There it is up there, although it's not the right color, but... Oh yeah, I forgot to change the rim, so that's a different color because it was listed as two different BMPs. So just to fix that real quick, just copy this and add that there. See, there you go, a skirt to match your tube top. I think that's very pretty. Alright, so it's not showing up, so now we have to do the Tinker thing again. So you're going to close that. Again, Babyz.org has the Tinker templates right here that you can use. There's a skirt one right here that you can use, which is perfectly fine. Again, I have some saved off here. Here's a skirt. It's not the greatest skirt, to be honest, but I drew it myself. So that's that. Copy. Just lay it over with the BMP. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do this differently. No, I'm not going to change that. No. Do that there. Copy that there. Sorry, I'm not trying to make this complicated. This is just, you're just retexturing it. But I didn't have any of this prepared beforehand, so... Nah, close enough. I gotta get back to that folder, our Babyz folder. Resource, Tinker, which I'll just call this Hanks 22. And then I'll save that. So now we have to go back to Tinker. You're gonna close out of that because you don't need that, and then you're gonna just open up your 22. This one only has the away section, which is what shows up in the closet, so that's convenient. You don't have to change anything else. And then you're just going to, again, import your image from right here. And then you click save, and that should be that. They should both show up as their own. Yep. Right there. Now, oh, don't cry, Persephone. That's really all you need. The rest is pretty much just exactly the same. You can have your tights you can make with it, or a necklace, but they all work in the exact same way. You just need to know what's being colored by what. But that's the basics of it. Okay. So I can close out of that. I'm going to now do one last step, which will be, I'm going to open the tube top back up. And remember how we changed it to resource closed stripes? The only problem with this is now, if you want to send out, you can leave it like this, but when you send out the outfit, you're going to have to send the BMP with it. But there's a way to put the BMP into the clothing, so then that way you don't have to send any BMPs with it. So you're going to just click edit, add resource, browse. This isn't the right folder because it's my other Babyz game, which I do not want. There's already stuff in there. Okay, now you're just going to have to put stripes because that's the BMP it's linked to. If you see right here, stripes. This will be adding it right into the game. So you're going to click create, which now it will show up right here, your BMP. So to change this now, you're just going to copy our auto build because that's what links it into the game. You do that and you click save, and then that way when you transport it between games, the BMP is already in the clothing item. You don't have to send any BMPs with it. So we're going to have to do the same thing with the tutu. Edit, add resource, Berry LK. Create. Art auto build, and that should save that. I'm going to change how this shows up. Save that. See, now when you pick it up, it says JKB22, and same with this one, striped tube top. And it all looks nice and good, all worked out. You can add bows, like I said, or anything else now you want to add, but that's the basics of it. Which, here are all the different, there are more. I need to update this, and I will make a link to that as soon as I can. But here are all the different items that can be recolored. Like, Budgie's dress is very popular. Necklaces are always nice. Earmuffs is winter, so that will be good. You can pretty much make whatever you want. Maybe I'll do a matching hat real quick to work on that, although they don't work too well on Persephone because she has too many lines already, but maybe I'll make a, I'll use Kirsty's bow. I like Kirsty's bow. You gotta close out the game first, though. Okay, I'm gonna go back into your close folder. And then you're going to just copy that right in there again. Which, now I'm just gonna call it striped bow. I don't know what the stripes would look like on the bow, but it would be okay. You're just going to do the same thing with this, but now it'll be 002. I'm going to change this to, I'm just going to call it bow. You should probably make them all one cohesive name so you can tell it's part of a set, but I haven't done that yet, so. If I'm going, I could probably just use the stripes BMP we already made. Wait. But I don't want that blue around it for this, because with the shirt it doesn't matter because it won't rotate anymore. But for this, that would just be annoying, so I'm gonna do it like that. I'm gonna call it stripes 2. I don't even know if this will look good on a bow or not, but let's see. This is linked. I should probably explain this too. This is the main part of your clothing item. Like, this is the part of the bow that you see. This is, you also see this too, but it's the ball that everything right here is based off of. So if you move this, this is all going to move automatically. This is your center ball, wherever you place this, and this is all based off of it. These are the lines right here that connect the bow together, but these are just the balls, these are the lines. So this would be ball 1, this is 0, but okay, this is texture 1, which is this one, because this is 0, this is 1. These are all linked to 0, so if you want, you could probably just make this 0 so it matches the other two, although if you want it to be different you can obviously do that. I'm just going to add the resource in now for stripes 2. I shouldn't have even changed it then, but if you can just do it this way, and then you didn't even have to change that. Nah, that's not at all what I intended. Copy, paste. There we go. Okay, so now, since that's in there too, if you want to get rid of one of these, you just side click and click delete, but I'm just going to leave it in there because for now it doesn't matter. Okay, so should show up. Gonna go here. Yep, it's showing up. Oh, that doesn't look that bad. I was thinking that might look a lot worse. That looks pretty good. Okay, kind of interferes with her hair tattoo, but that's okay. Oopsies. Okay, so now we just have to tinker it, which I don't have a good picture for that, do I? But that's okay. Let's see, does Babyz.org have one? That's a pretty good bow. We can just use this one. Which then I can do, can I just paste it over top? That's good. Now I'm just gonna copy it. Just actually do it like that. Just make sure that you make it as small as possible with this pink color around it, because this is what makes it transparent. If you don't have that, then it's just going to be a giant block, and that's not really fun. So you're going to save this. Whoops, no, I don't want to do that. Save it into your tinker, call it striped bow. Yeah, and the smaller you make it, the better, because if you make your image like that big, it's going to look really funky because it's going to try to take up that much room, and you don't want that. So right now you're going to open Tinker again. You're going to open up your bow, which I call just striped bow. You're going to just change the away, and then you're going to import. Save it, make sure to save it. I click it multiple times just because I don't know, I'm paranoid, and you can't really tell if you clicked it like in Lines Pro, because that automatically grays out when you clicked it. So there you go, now that's showing up too, and you can add whatever you want to make this cuter. This was just very quick and basic, so it's not really a great set, But yeah, that's all you really have to do. Making clothes is not super difficult unless you're making your own bases yourself, like trying to make different headbands or different types of bows, because you can make whatever you want, but I'll make that in a different video. But for now, I guess that's it. That's all you have to do to make your own set. So I'll be back again with a different one, maybe on how to make toys or play scenes or something like that. But yeah. Alright. Bye, everyone. Let me see.